Good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm going to ask you a question, why are we late? Because you're asking me a question, have you forgotten the art of asking difficult questions? Today, the first experience in which I have come on time, but my hosts are not there to receive me. That's the question I leave with you. Why are we late? I'm starting with that, but basic question is, I'm 80-year-old. I want to ask, why have you invited me? You're young girls, some of them are like granddaughters and grandsons. You invited me because you want to have some kind of information out of me. You want to know how I did my journalism. But I must tell you, the place where I'm standing today is the place which I fought for. As a lecturer in Delhi University in 1970s, I was living next door here, a colony which is known as Jilmil Colony. I stayed there, I worked there, I came there in 1955. I was a leader in Delhi University. I thought, why can't be there any East Campus? There was a South Campus and there was the East Campus. This land was allotted to Delhi University in 1985, but ultimately Delhi University did not come up and you came up here. Lucky you are. Wish you all the best. But coming back to the basic question, have we forgotten the asking the right question? The question, have we? Or we don't want to? I'm a journalist for the last 45 years. I've interviewed almost 14 of the 16 prime ministers so far. I've interviewed almost 500 personalities. My Seedhi Baat show ran for 672 shows. I did Seedhi Baat for about 52 shows. I do Sachi Baat about 32 shows. Now I'm doing my own YouTube channel. We have forgotten the art of asking the right questions because we don't have the patience. If you look at the Woodworth and Bernstein, if you heard about as journalists, they broke a story which toppled the government, they toppled the president had to resign in the United States in 1972. When they were given a scoop, they didn't ask, what is the scoop? They asked one question, what does it mean? What does it mean? What will do with this kind of story? Ultimately, what happened? It led to the fall of the President of the United States, first time in the United States. And I follow the same principle. When I join journalism, what question should I ask? What purpose I am going to serve? Because if you go by the alphabet, 26 alphabets, you got A to Z. First comes the Q, then comes the W's later on. If you don't have the Q right, you can't get the W's right. What do you mean by Q? Q means question, and W means what? First W means what, second W means where, third W means what next. Because question has to be complete in the format of W's as well. If you don't know the W's, you are asking the wrong question. So when you're composing a question, you must keep in mind that this question will lead to the answer to the three W's or not. These W's are very important for formation of a question. But we have forgotten that art because we want instant answer. We don't research enough, and therefore we are not able to get the right questions, and therefore don't get the right answers. That is the basic problem where we have forgotten it. And before that, we don't do the research properly. We don't look at what kind of questions we are going to ask. I'm behaving like a journalist here. But some of them, you become some of CEOs, some may become vice presidents. You will be asking different candidates who are seeking a job. But my job as a journalist is to bring the personality out, to get the right answer to the people who are going to watch me, get answer right for the people who are going to read my column, and I have to think about it. I was not a bar journalist. I was just a lecturer teaching economics in one of the colleges of Delhi University. But I decided to become a journalist because I thought, as a journalist, I not only want to be very frank with you, as a journalist, not only wanted to get fame in a shortest period of time, but also get a little extra money because I came from a lower middle class family. For me, journalism was not a mission. It was just an art of earning more money and fame at the same time. You can rub shoulders with my famous and mighty people. But basic question was how to ask a question. I have to learn because I never went to a good school, never went to a good college. My formal education was never there. I went from one because I was born in Pakistan, I was a refugee. So I was asking for question, and the quest for question led to me to become a journalist. in a shortest period of time. But coming back to the question, are we forgetting it? Yes, we have forgotten the art of asking questions. Because either we don't want to ask or we don't know how to ask. When I became a journalist, I was writing for India Today. I became the editorial director of India Today magazine. I was editor for 16 years there. I was the Indian Express editor as well before that. And after that, I came back to New Indian Express. In the 50 years of also journalism, I was always trying to get an answer for the question which was not answered by many of the people. The question arises, when you went for a TV show, I was not a TV expert. I became a famous so-called journalist because I was doing a show on Aaj Tak, and which became one of the most popular shows at that point in time, because I was grilling people. I was asking them uncomfortable questions. And when people used to ask me, hey Prabhu, आपका guest कौन है? मैंने, what do you mean by guest? Who is the guest? आप अभी भी, you ask, go anywhere, my guest for the show is so and so, so and so. I told everybody on my show, there will no guest. Everybody will be my target. That's the way it should be. Unless you treat the person sitting in front of you as a target, you will not ask the right question. Because you're respecting me as a guest. Guests have to behave in a particular manner. So as a journalist, I have to ask that question because he's my target, therefore I must get information which my viewer is asking for. Very interesting question. And how to prepare yourself? I won't name the person. One person was there on my show who is one of the famous tech person in the country or in the world perhaps. He came on my show on Seedhi Baat. I asked him one question. He didn't reply. Asked the same question 17 times. Why did you sell your own shares to the multinational companies? It was a best Indian company, not it become foreign national company. Why have you sold it? He wouldn't give me the answer. But I asked him that question 17 times to get the answer for my viewers, why this person who built such a beautiful company which is worth billions of dollars, because he ultimately tell me that I sold it to make more money. I said, that was your mission? To build up this company? So they have to ask, when you are saying he's my target, my target hai. My only thing was that my question would come out of the answers given by the other person. Because if you are prepared with a predetermined question, then you will look like a natak. कि आपने पहले से तैयार कर लिया, 5 साल बना लिए, रिहर्स कर लिए, उसके जवाब आ गया, आप चले गए. ये नहीं चलता है. So for me, the art of asking tough questions came from the answer which I got from the other people. I'll give you another example. One of the famous female political leaders of the country, I won't name her, but in this case I probably name her. You may have heard about Jaya Jetli. Jaya Jetli was Sabta Party president. She was very close to George Fernandez. She was on my show. When I asked her, I want to do Seedhi Baat with you, मेरे को उन्होंने बोला कि आप मेरे को जॉर्ज साहब के बारे में सवाल नहीं पूछेंगे. जॉर्ज साहब के बारे में सवाल नहीं पूछेंगे. मैंने कहा नहीं पूछूंगा, पर्सनल सवाल है आपका. But as I told you, I look for the question from the answers. When she started talking about it, about women participation, which we'll talk about now, women participation in politics, he told me, देखिए महिलाओं के लिए भारतवर्ष के अंदर काम करना कितना मुश्किल होता है, उनकी बदनामी हो जाती जल्दी से, तो मेरे साथ भी देख लीजिए. मैंने कहा बताइए जॉर्ज साहब के संबंध आपके क्या थे? So I got the answer. I was looking for the tough question because I asked the right question at the right time. That's another thing. When do you ask the question? Ask at the right time. And how do you ask it? Another example I'll give you the question. Omar Uddala, who was the chief minister of J&K now, he became the National Conference president early 2000. He came to my show. I wanted to prove that J&K, the chief minister, both father and son, were a failure. That was my conclusion based on facts, not on my perception. क्या फेल हो गए? मैंने कहा I am the editor of India Today. If my circulation is going down, my revenue is going down, my senior people are leaving, am I a successful editor or a failed one? He's obviously failed one. Then I caught him. I think your state law and order is down. Terrorists are attacking every place. Your income is going down. What do you mean? Are you a successful chief minister or failed? He says, it's not a question. But I got the answer. People who were watching my show knew that he doesn't want to answer that question. Similarly, I give you an example. Shahrukh Khan अपने आप को बहुत बोलते हैं, मैं तो ये हूँ, मैं वो हूँ. He came 9 times on my show. When he was shifting to IPL, he was buying the IPL team. मेरे शो पे आ गए. मैंने उनसे सवाल पूछा, भाई आप थोड़े उम्र बढ़ती चली जा रही है आपकी. Are you planning for a new venture so that will you become a failed star? इसके बाद nobody will give you film and you will fail. So Shahrukh Khan asked question, why are you venturing into filmmaking? Your wife is getting fashion, everything you're doing. What would you do this? Is right? You want to go into businesses? He said, Prabhu Chawla जी याद रखिए, मैं इतना पैसा कमाऊंगा कि मैं आज तक को खरीदूंगा और आपको अपना एम्प्लॉय बनाऊंगा. I got my answer. I got the personality out of the man. He never made that kind of money. He never bought Atak. I left Atak after I became 65. I retired and joined another job. The question I'm trying to say, you are youngsters. I can see that today's youngsters are more in a hurry in making money these days. They're not interested in acquiring them. They're not disciplined. Most of them don't do their own job. They're average people. They're not concentrating. Because luckily, I was not born with a silver spoon. I never went to school and never had a pair of shoes. I made myself. So I know what the struggle is all about. You will learn the art of asking questions if there's a fire in your belly. And I'm really, unfortunately, want to say that none of the new youth have fire in their belly because everything is available to thermal platter. Thank you very much. I won't want to get into. That's enough for me.